Hi guys, this is my 15th video. In this video, I really want to touch on the vilification tactic. Um, First, I just want to thank everybody who's been leaving comments, providing information, um, and just I'm still I want to learn as much as I can. But I've been doing a lot more research, a lot more reading, and I want to talk about like always us more specific to my targeting and what's going on with me specifically. And one thing that's coming to with most of the target individual is the vilification. Vilifying the target individual is a tactic that's pretty common, it appears. That comes in different ways. One is the defamation campaign, where the the this is basically a smear campaign of some sort where your surroundings and wherever you go, there's people who you know say things about you, and, really the same script in regard of what the target individual has to endure when it comes to the defamation, right? It's sexual offenser type of, it's always somewhere like that, a thief or something, it's always within that, whatever they can say to really smear you as a human being. But the vilification comes in, you know, when they try to vilify your character. Um, One is try to, tell stories about you that aren't accurate, have truth, lies, exaggerations, and like this is really externally. Externally they can say anything, especially in my case where um, I'm new to this. One, I'm isolated, right? New to a city, not newish. I moved in New York last year, so really, I I'm somewhat of know a empty, not empty. I would say a blank canvas where you can paint any image, right? And so yeah, the defamation, the vilification can, they can do whatever. And mind you, let's remember that this is a program that is specifically there to destroy the target individual in every way possible. And it's not based on one individual, but thousands, maybe millions worldwide. Um, and yeah, so vilification, it like like I said before, it's a tactic used commonly, right? It's a torture tool because the way it is supposed to do is just to actually break down the target individual self-worth, right? If I keep saying something to somebody, as false as it is, if I keep 24/7 creating this narrative on a daily, yearly, you know, non-stop, that individual will start to identify themselves as what is being said to them if they say it often enough, right? And that's the power of vilification. For me, there's different levels. Well, there's the external level where is the harassment, the campaign, the defamation campaigns, the smear campaigns, which is done externally, which is you know um, more acceptable or more believable, I would say. And also, since I am isolated, I am in an environment where the people who live near me, the people who live within the same building, are personnel have some kind of financial benefit from it or other benefits, where they make sure that this narrative that is meant to vilify me is constant, right? So let's just say I feel great about myself. You know, you have those moments where you feel good. Nowadays, it's rare because it is a part of the tactic to make sure that this target individual could never see themselves as who they really are, but follow the narrative. So if at any point I feel good and feel you know in my own skin, real me, there's different sound campaigns to kind of trigger me back into like the same state of mind that they have prescribed for me. So that's those constitute of like some of the same scripted triggers, the sound campaign. Somebody from outside might be yelling, say something, to maintain the script. And that's externally. Now, there's another level where it comes in the V2K. The V2K is perhaps the hardest, that is the one that's the hardest to deal with, and that may be harder to, not to demoralize anybody, but I don't think that you can win with the V2K, meaning that your way of thinking, your way you process your thoughts, the way you even your perceptions are no longer yours. It can be anything can be inserted, any perception can be inserted, memories can be edited, falsified, inserted, perception of those memory can be involved. I mean, the V2K can do so much to someone's psyche. It can basically take over one's mind. Um, for example, a simple memory of first of all, they is meant to that victim this sorry the vilification is really in the V2K form is trying to shame you. So trying to go in your memory base and trying to pick things that you know something that might be embarrassing, something that be, and transform it into something completely different and shame you for it. You might be having, before I've talked about, when I was, a kid of barely 14 years old or something like that. Sometimes it's like, you're at a party and kick somebody out, and the V2K might just change the perception in a different way. Um, but the goal of the V2K is just break you and make you not hate yourself, but lose your sense of who you are. So basically, the vilification is really meant to break your personality and make you break your self of worth. You know, um, and so vilification tactic is constant. You know, there's those theatrics that's happening outside or around your building or places where you can hear it. Those theatrics can be just random conversation that you meant to hear, and every once in a while trigger words thrown in. Those trigger words are disgusting words that meant to make you hear and make you believe that the narrative is true. Um, it could be somebody just, for me in my case, somebody storm out of the room, say something, and then slam the door, another trigger. But while they do that, they say something disgusting. It's all about vilification, right? Um, Different, sometimes I have, a roommate or somebody who will listen to, I mean, who's talking to somebody on speaker, and the person on the speaker phone, use those trigger words. So, um, but the vilification is constant. It's the common tactic. Regardless if you have V2K or or not, there'll be some kind of verification of who you are. And that's usually it's a way to kind of break you in one way. So to all the target individuals, um, do not even try to validate that. Even if your brain somehow, because of the V2K, try to make, you know, make rational thinking of it somehow, try to take something from your memory and try to mix it. It's it's a common tactic. It's not about you specifically. This is applied to a lot of target individual, and it's meant to break you. And your brain, at this point, for me, the V2K is really poisoning all my thoughts. If if I think of myself in a good fashion, something happens where now he tries to create a memory or use an old memory where it's falsified or create it's a constant non-stop way of vilifying the target individual. Um, and that is a way to break the personality of a target individual, the individuality of the target individual, and break the psyche of the individual. I don't know if you can hear from outside. You can hear a little bit of those like fabricated conversations, and I don't know if this the audio can hear from here. But there'll be like trigger terms here and there. It's part of the tactic. But it's nonstop, right? But the way I'm taking it now is that uneasy feeling, emotions I'm having, because I know I'm not any of that. I know who I am, but my brain currently is not in sync with who I really am. It is in sync with whoever is manipulating my state of mind. And I've accepted that whatever uneasiness, whatever weird emotion I'm feeling, whatever I'm associating myself from that, and accept understanding what's happening as a whole, understanding that this is a program that it's been running for years, decades, um, which target individuals, which sole goal is to destroy that individual any way possible. Some of this, a lot of the target individual are no longer with us. Some of them ended up harming themselves. Some others harm others. A lot of others. There's some mass shooting that you probably are familiar with. Um, but the goal is to break target individual into destruction. I understand that. So, with that being said, I try to see this as the program as what it is. Um, I know that there's nothing I've done, and I know that there's nothing you've done is deserving of that. And whatever's thrown in your way, whatever falsified memories, inserted intrusive thoughts, whatever you might have your perps, whatever they're doing, the sound campaigns and whatever they might scream, whatever, those are individuals who are being paid in a way, if not financial, there's other incentive. Um, and when I understand this now, I can't, When I understand that portion, it's easy for me to, okay, I understand. The vilification portion is part of the tactic. It's not who I am. It's not, it's not my character. So just disassociate that. Second of all, I know that whoever is partaking in this, they also have to delude themselves of a reality. It's theatrics, but it's theatric at a grand level. It's a theatric where you, as a perp, need to make yourself believe of that reality. So that's why when I see them do what they do, when I hear them do, and sometimes they have like this like energy about it, is because they have to delude themselves. This is not just an acting gig. This is, but it's somebody's life. So you have, if you're a perp, and I'm saying that because a lot of target individuals ask themselves why, are they possessed or no, it's they deluded themselves into that character. They forced it into, and if they, they understand that this is somebody's life, they they're ruining and destroying, and who knows the end result. So they have to delude themselves in a way. They have to deassociate themselves from reality, of who they are. And if they have a large number, which they do, it's easy to do it. And when the reality hit them, then they can retract and somebody can jump in. That's why when I show my videos and there's some of my perps, I've never even tried to show the faces because their faces is sort of irrelevant, right? Tomorrow somebody can move in and go through the same script and it's gonna be the same. Some of them come in with like the extra energy first, and then by the end, within a few weeks, they kind of that energy just kind of leave, and it becomes more of a systematic, Um, so this vilification is is also, when you see those perps, you know, when I'm not talking about just the video clip, but when you see those perps acting or doing their whole gimmicks, um, you understand that they are really trying to delude themselves into it. They have to enforce it themselves. And sometimes I look at them, I'm annoyed, and I'm agitated, and then I realize, okay, tomorrow you can leave, somebody will do the exact same thing. It's not. And two, you will see the same narrative throughout the other target individuals. It's a way to just agitate you. And with that being said, target individuals, please don't fall for that. They continuously will vilify you. They will say the most disturbing thing. They will continue to use the script. They will continue to try to break you. Usually, they'll try to do as far as possible. If they're close, you know, it'll be the same thing. And whatever state of mind you have, whatever way they're trying to shame you, understand that you don't deserve any of it. Zero, nada. They do this to the most innocent kids in these programs, elders are in this program, and anybody. You don't deserve any of it, and they know that. And they try to delude themselves that that's not the case, but they know that. Some of them are okay with it because some people are like that. As long as they get what they need, who cares? Others really need to maintain that character and belief, so they tell themselves whatever they need to. They surround themselves with whoever's going to help them believe that, and that's that. Others might just really, really feel guilty, but either way, they're doing it. Do not do not try to feel any validation from them. I do that mistake sometimes. Sometimes, like I say, so I talk to them all, like they look like regular people. They are regular people, but regular people are, you know, they can be influenced, and of course, they're gonna use people who appear very common because they're trying to influence you into believing this vilification for you to accept it. Look at it as a program. Look at it as a system. All of that is, believe it or not, they're doing it to many others. Some of them almost the same way they're doing it to you. They might be doing it to kids. They might be doing it to vulnerable individuals. Do not take anything from them. If it comes in your head, let it go. It's going to come in, then remind you this is the system, this is the program. So, my target individual, stay strong. Try your best to maintain your cool. I know I'm trying to, I'm preaching it and I'm trying to practice it. And please, you have a voice. You do tell your story and know that justice will be done one way or another. There is no free pass in life. When you do diabolic things, these things do not disappear. So, know that justice will be done for what they've done, not only to us, but the ones that are no longer with us. And stay strong, don't harm yourself, and don't harm others. God bless you guys.